What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Washington, and you're on the mark where we talk everything Falcons football. Let me know if you guys can hear me, man, because sometimes I jump on here, I be talking, and don't nothing be coming out, man. Um, how's everybody doing? Let me turn this down a little bit. So yeah, man, we gonna dive into this thing. Um, I've gotten over Sunday's loss, but I haven't gotten over Sunday's loss. Um, that loss left me a bit wobbly. And reason being is they knew the stakes in that game and they came out and played like that. So there's stakes in this game. I don't know what to expect from this team. With the defense being terrible, with the offense being sometimey, there's a pattern. They lose a game and then they go on a 2 or 3 game winning streak and then they absolutely lay down. So if we're going by trends in the season, we should score 30 on Denver. Here's my issue. Denver's a 500 team, despite having a quarterback that can't throw. Athletic quarterback. They got a good defense. For all intents and purposes, we should smoke this team. But my problem is this. Raheem Morris expects to be in close games. That is a problem for me. Because we had this in the Arthur Smith era. With a team this talented, you every game shouldn't come down to the wire. I'm sorry. Some of these teams you should have destroyed, like the Saints. But you come out unprepared, uninspired to play football, flat from the jump. And your kicker in 3 of the last 4 games has missed 5 field goal attempts. But you're going to stick with them. Okay. So just like the Saints game was a playoff game to me, and I look at how they came out. I think you could have been the 2 seed. You let that get away from you. Denver's going to come to beat you. They've beaten every team in the NFC South. They beat the Bucks. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Saints. We're last on the list. Like I said Sunday, man, the word of the week is heart. There shouldn't be any there shouldn't be any zone coverage in this game. This guy can't throw. His first instinct, he's not going to go through his progressions. His first instinct, if that first read ain't there, he might make it to a second and he's taken off. I think he's 5th in the league as far as quarterback rushing yards. Jimmy Lake's gig should be on the guillotine with this man. It should be under the blade with this one. If you can't stop this offense, bro. And again, there'll be people that say the defense isn't this bad. My thing is, how does this defense play better ball in the second half? Same players. So it ain't the players. It's the same exact players from the first half to the second half. But they limit teams to 3 points. They limit teams to 6 points. It ain't the players, it's the play caller. If we have to make adjustments at halftime, it's usually the play calling. Now, do we have problems getting to the quarterback or sacking him? Yeah, getting to him, not so much. Sacking, yes. But man, offense got to come the ball out, man. I mean, again, 17 points. You score under 20, you losing. Like I said, I follow trends. Every game Atlanta has lost, they've been under 20 points. And with this type of offense, you should be putting up less than 20 a game. So as you can tell, I'm still irritated by Sunday. Not emotionally, but I'm irritated because I knew what the stakes were and I saw what this team put out there on the field. And for people like me that was off the porch, you look at games like that and you look at the stakes and you look at what Atlanta came out with, that does give you cause to pause. Now, people are like, well, if Koo hits those 3 field goals, we're not even having this conversation. True, but he did. And that's been a problem. But when Koo's kicking 53, 54-yard field goals, man, Mark, look at how many games that he kept us in. One of those games, fam, he missed a field goal and then had to kick a field goal to tie. If he wouldn't have missed the previous field goal, we would have won. But Koo has always had this issue. Now it's more prevalent because you're seeing the bunches in every game. You're seeing the misses start to go in back-to-back games now. So my thing is, people are talking about his stance is wrong. He's lining up on the hash wrong. He changed his stance, all this other stuff. It's mental. And the same smoke I would give any other player, I'm going to give to the kicker. I don't give a damn if his kicks have taken us into overtime. That's his fucking job. People act like there are players that can't be talked about or brought smoke. This is logo business. If you're not playing up to the level that we expect you to play it, you deserve all the smoke. Clark Phillips. And I'm like, how can we rag on guys like Ebiketie? How can we rag on guys like AJ Terrell, Justin Simmons, Matthew Judon, Kirk Cousins? But we can't talk about the kicker who's costing us just. I hit the How did it work out for us on Sunday? I've seen kickers like this before who were lights out. Can y'all hear me? Hold on, let me know if y'all like this. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, fam, I've seen kickers like this before. Lights out and then just hit a wall and don't come back. And to me, I was quite shocked at what I was hearing about young Koo. I was a little shocked. You'd think that Koo was a wide receiver or something like that. This man has one job. Usually every Sunday, he's going to have the cleanest jersey out there. He's got one job. It's not like he's a lineman. It's not like he's a free safety. Not like he's a corner. Not like he's a tight end. He's a fucking kicker. He's got one job. So there's almost, to me, I'm gonna just keep it real. There's almost zero tolerance for a kicker to be in a slump like this. Because what else are you doing? I mean, think about this, fam. His playbook is literally a paragraph long. But in this game, a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, we're going for it. And I've seen teams do that. Where their kicker is just in a slump. They like, fuck that. It could be from 40 yards out. 4th down, they're gonna go for it. Because they know their kicker mentally isn't there. But I'm at the point now to where, hey, I like Koo. Koo has gotten some game winners for us. And you give credit where credit's due when that happens. Hodges had a walk-off game winner for us. So let me get to some of these comments. Jay Lana says, how about we start getting more TDs, then we don't have to worry about Koo kicking field goals. He was missing field goals when we were getting TDs, bro. They just didn't matter. You remember what game was that, against the Cowboys? We were getting touchdowns. He missed a fucking field goal. Special teams, actually, even though I'm ragging on Koo right now, special teams got to get right. Because there's been like 2 blocked field goals this year. And I'm like, there's no urgency to get to the damn ball and kick it. Koo's just casually strolling to the ball to kick it. But as far as touchdowns go, I mean, they've had one? We've had one game. Hold on, let me get back in here real quick. All right, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 games. 4 where we didn't score over 20. You know what happened with all those games? We lost. Every single one of those games, we lost. Scored 10 against the Steelers, lost. Scored 17 against the Chiefs, lost. Scored 14 against the Seahawks, lost. And scored 17 against the Saints, lost. That's 4 games. The 6 we won, we cleared over. Ryan said, "Oh, what's going on here?" Ryan says Arthur Blanket also is in a sticky situation right now with 2 flight attendants. Boy, oh Jesus Christ! Ay 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 ay. Hold on, let me go check this, man. Ay ay ay. All right, let's check this out. I'm not paying for this, New York Times. Okay, Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank gave younger lover a cushy job. God damn it, these pop-ups, man. Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank gave younger lover a cushy job on his private jet while forcing other flight attendants to work overtime. Jesus Christ, bro. Whew. The billionaire owner of the NFL's Atlanta Falcons hired a woman half his age to work on his private jet while the pair were in a romantic relationship, but she wasn't qualified for the job, and he allegedly forced 2 other stewardesses to work unpaid overtime to pick up the slack, according to an explosive lawsuit. The family office of Arthur Blank, who made his fortune as co-founder of big box retailer Home Depot before buying the Falcons in, okay, blah, 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 blah. He's being sued by 2 corporate flight attendants. The pair alleged they were not paid overtime after working long, grueling hours on Blank's luxurious aircraft, partly because the family office's flight group was a dysfunctional and poorly run business unit that hired and retained incompetent employees solely because they had sexual relationships with Blank or supervisors. Fucking hell, man. Okay. Well, it's a good thing that Blank ain't playing. Jesus. Not Blank out here getting Jello pudding 15,000 feet. Not Blank. And I think he got divorced not too long ago, right? According to the complaint filed on October 18th in Atlanta federal court, 82-year-old Blank, who is thrice divorced and has 6 children, was romantically involved with 42-year-old Christine Boyce, who was hired as a flight attendant by the mogul's family office. Boyce only provided only limited support, as AMBFO allowed her to be scheduled on flights only if Blank was the only person traveling on the aircraft. It was alleged in the complaint, which was reported by Business Insider. As a result, flight attendants Pearson and Carlisle alleged they were regularly required to work far more than 40 hours per week due to their heavy workload because they were regularly required to cover up Boyce's deficiencies and handle the vast majority of the flights for AMBFO. The 2 flight attendants also alleged that AMBFO kept another employee on the payroll who was similarly incapable of performing her duties while she was engaged in a romantic relationship with the director of aviation. That flight attendant was completely unqualified for a position, and her hiring served only to increase plaintiff's workload by both handling her duties and attempting to familiarize her with the company's operations, according to the lawsuit. So, this might be a nothing. It might not be this might be a nothing burger. Blank, whose net worth was valued by Forbes at $9.3 billion as of Monday, didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. The Post has also sought comment from Boyce and 2 other employees mentioned in the lawsuit. Yeah. Man, listen. They were qualified, just not to do flight attendant shit. So this looks like The other two chicks. Now, listen, I don't agree with being, working overtime and not being paid. That's some bullshit right there. So they got a gripe for that, but she got hired to give neck. Just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Now, this will probably go away. They'll probably, drop them a chunk of change, make them sign something that pretty much shuts them the hell up, and they're going to move on. I don't really think that's a big deal. But honestly, it sounds like the two other employees, now had they been getting broke off, they would have kept their mouth closed. But that's just me. But I do think if they were working overtime and not getting paid, yeah, that's some bullshit right there. That's some bullshit. But the other two chicks, they were qualified to do a job. It just wasn't no flight attendant shit. But now blank out here on the craft. But instead of being on the massage table and in the sauna, this motherfucker in the air. But then again, it ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. This is what these guys do. This man's worth $9 billion. And 82. He got to pay for it at that age, bruh. I don't even know why they shocked about it. He 82. This man got to pay to play now. You ain't going to catch Arthur Blank on Hinge at 82 years old? Imagine seeing an 82-year-old on Plenty of Fish. They aged out of the game 50 years ago. Well, not 50, but let's just say 30, 35. That boy got to pay for it. They out there, they chasing a dollar. Listen, but they do deserve that unpaid overtime, though. They do deserve that. They're going to get paid under the table, and that's a wrap. This shit will go away quick. Ryan says, also, we got former Broncos legendary 6-time Pro Bowler Carl Mecklenburg coming on the show tonight for a special interview, bro. You got to check it out. Hey, what time is that going to be, Ryan? Let everybody know. Brian says, I'm bringing this up tomorrow on the show. Bro, he on his Bill Cosby. Willie says 9.3. Yo, Blank. Yo, Mr. Blank, let me hold $1. Yeah, man, these owners be having, they ain't never gonna go broke. All right, Ryan says 8 p.m. So y'all check that out. Y'all check. Boy, Ryan be having guests on there like Montel Williams. Y'all, some of y'all might be too young to remember the Montel Williams show. That was back when talk shows had some degree of integrity, some. But then he also had that psychics. What was the name of that woman? White woman be on there just talking nonsense. Guy, it starts with an S. It's on the tip of my brain, man. But he bought into that shit so much. She had her own day on his show. It was like Tuesdays or something like that, where she would come on and like there would be like audience members asking them appreciate it, short bus, Sylvia Brown. And they'd be like, I lost my Nana 5 years ago, and I keep having these reoccurring dreams, and I wake up in a cold sweat, and she's right behind you, darling. She's right behind you, yeah. She has her hand on her shoulder, and she says she's all right. Really? Yeah, she's all right. And Montel be sitting there, fascinating. We'll be back after commercial break. Boy, that shit used to be comical, man. And then you find out like she was dead wrong on a lot of shit. That's just like old girl that used to have those commercials. Call me now for your free tarot card reading. Miss say me can help you. And people used to eat this shit up, bruh. People used to eat this shit up. And then when she got it wrong, because there were episodes where she got it wrong. Oh man, the gymnastics she tried to perform after the fact. Sean says Miss Cleo was the original. Yes. Man, it was like if you called her, man, it was like $5.99 a minute for her to tell you lies. Ryan says Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones. Man, I think what happened on Jenny Jones pretty much killed those type of talk shows. You know, Sally, Jesse, Raphael. Man, listen, I'm old enough to remember this shit in live action. But I remember, man, this one episode of Ricky Lake where this on Ricky Lake they used to have like this phone booth like for like confession shows. So they would have this person like in this booth and they would be blindfolded with a headphone on and with headphones on, and the person on stage was basically telling the whole world this confession. Then they would bring this person out and they would confess to him, right? And listen, Ricky Lake was no better than Jenny Jones. No better. You know, let me see if I can let me see if I can find this one clip, man. This shit broke my heart on Ricky Lake. I don't know if I can find it. I'd have to really look for it, man. But anyway, long story short, right? Ricky Lake had this guy on the show. He got out of prison, and his girl she did the time with him, right? He was in prison for like 5-6 years or something like that. She did the time, and while he was in prison, he was getting sex. Just wasn't from women. So when he got out of prison, he kept doing it. So that's the confession that he wanted to confess to his girl. Now, this woman was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, she was absolutely beautiful. So they get her out of the booth. She's in that chair, like shaking. And he just like ripped the Band-Aid off. He was like, listen, I brought you on here to let you know that I'm cheating on you. And of course she breaks down crying. And then Ricky just put the knife in her. Is there anything else that you want to tell her? Yeah, so I've been sleeping with men. And just you can see her soul just left her body. Right? So after everything was put out there, she was like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? I waited for you and all this other shit, right? He's like, you know, just every now and then I like it penitentiary style. I remember sitting on the couch just enamored by this shit. I was like 17 at the time. Sean said the one where dude killed another guest was wild. Yeah, that was on Jenny Jones. That's when she used to do these secret crush episodes. And there was a gay guy that had a crush on a straight guy. So they brought the guy out. I think they kind of like alluded that because they had like mutual friends and it was this chick. So I think when he came out, he thought the chick had a crush, but it was actually her friend. And he, of course, said no, right? Matter of fact, fuck that. We gonna pull this up. I know we outside of the lines with we gonna get back. Trust me, we gonna get back. But she kept pushing the envelope. Hold on for a second. For those that haven't seen this, right? See, that's why I like doing streams like this. You never know where this shit is going to end, where it's going to end, begin, or whatnot.
God, pursue his secret crush on John.
Jenny Jones was one of many daytime talk show hosts in the 90s that had viewers.
I actually want to, yeah. Okay.
Secret admirers. 32-year-old Scott Amador revealed he had a crush on an acquaintance, 24-year-old Jonathan Schmitz. The show brought the two together to see if there was a love connection.
Well, guess what? It's Scott that has the crush on you.
You lied to me.
The audience erupted in excitement, and a surprised Schmitz, while caught off guard, seemed to find humor in the moment.
Did you have any idea that he liked you this much?
Now, see, that's just embarrassment. He's laughing to keep from killing somebody right there on the spot. He was just embarrassed.
No, I did not.
Can you tell us what your status is? Are you involved with anybody or?
No, but I am definitely a heterosexual, I guess you could say.
But the laughter faded 3 days later.
Last Thursday, 32-year-old Scott Amador was killed after receiving 2 shotgun blasts to the chest. The alleged perpetrator of this vicious crime was an acquaintance of his, 24-year-old Jonathan Schmitz.
Schmitz called 911 to turn himself in after he showed up at Amador's home and shot him to death. Schmitz claimed he was humiliated by having been brought on national TV to hear Amador profess affection for him. The feelings, he said, were not mutual.
He said he's gay, but I'm not. He said he wouldn't leave me alone, that's why I did it. He said I went on the Jenny Jones show. I didn't know it was a guy, that's why I killed him.
But the trial also called into question the ethics of tabloid talk shows, which were in their prime. Critics claimed their so-called deceptive practices and sensationalized style were to blame for this tragedy.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right here. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of shows like Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake. They had so many more of those types of shows too. But after that, like Jenny Jones got backlash out the ass. Because they egged it on like that kind of briefly showed it, but imagine you being a straight guy, especially back then when it was just LGBT. Now it's the whole alphabet, but even back then it was kind of like so imagine you being a straight guy and you thinking that a chick got a crush on you. So there's deception in getting you there, because I guarantee you back then, if they would have told this guy that he's going on a show where there's a guy who has a crush on him, he never would have went. So they had to manipulate him to get him there. Then when he's there, he's just absolutely embarrassed. Now, what he did after the fact, I ain't co-signing that shit. I'm not. But that's what led to that type of shit. So But Montel, like, y'all can go back and watch old clips of that. I do that sometimes when I need a laugh. Back to the Falcons. So with Raheem Morris, AJ says we gotta get Koo some competition expeditiously. I agree. But Raheem said he's sticking with him. Raheem is gonna see him out of this slump like he's seeing Jimmy Lake, out of the slump. We're having first year growing pains with these coordinators. But in Jimmy Lake's situation, I don't even like where that's going. With Zach, you've seen Zach show promise, because we stayed on Zach first part of the season, and then when he kind of gave Kirk more rope to do some stuff, we saw this offense start to hum. That's why y'all see me kind of off of Zach Robinson, but they got to score more than 20 points though. It's just the team looked flat. We're getting penalties out the ass at inopportune moments. But people are going to give Raheem a pass because this is his first year as a head coach here. But here's the thing. I count that interim time too. And the defense was better when he was an interim head coach. We had less talent, and the defense was better. So again, it's not the players when you can make adjustments and look a lot better in the second half. It's not the players. Now, are some of these players not playing to their potential? Yeah, Nate Landman looks to taking a step back, but he's coming off an injury. But then again, I think we're still in the wrong scheme, so we don't really know. But I'm looking at it as we can just expect dogfights from here on out, dog. We can just expect to be in dogfights because that's what Raheem Morris expects. He doesn't expect to stomp a team out. He doesn't. And I got a problem with that. Why would you go in and just real talk? And I know these are divisional games. Why would you go into a Carolina game expecting that to be a dogfight? Again, I was talking to a friend of mine about I think New Orleans plays the Cowboys. And he was like, New Orleans probably going to win that game. I'm like, they have no incentive to win that game. Zero. None. It would not surprise me if Dallas won that game. They have no incentive. Just like when they play Carolina, they have no incentive to win. That's what makes that loss Sunday even worse. Because you knew the only incentive the Saints had to play for was the fact that it's a rivalry game. They gonna wet the bed playing the Cowboys. Cowboys definitely ain't got nothing to play for. Matter of fact, for all intents and purposes, the Cowboys should very easily lose that game. They have no run game. None. I mean, they got CeeDee Lamb. That's it. But if I'm the Saints, why would I want to win? I want to try and get as high as a draft pick as I possibly can because we're $77 million in the dead next year. Carr is not going to do it for you. But why would Raheem expect every one of these games to be a dog? To me, I mean, I hate to say this about Raheem because I like him. I like him. That is the wrong messaging you should have for your team. If you think that you got a team that can compete, you should want to eat every team every Sunday that comes near your vicinity. Oh, we got Denver. Oh, they quarterback rookie can't really throw. Oh yeah, we about to make his life a living hell. But guess what they're gonna do? First half, they're gonna play that trash ass zone. They're gonna let Bo Nix start to get hot. And at halftime, they'll make adjustments. They'll make adjustments. But how deep in the hole are we gonna be? So this is coaching to me. You week 10 and you're having to make adjustments at halftime because you don't trust I'm beating a dead horse now. Five on the line, man coverage. Make this guy beat you with his arm. Make him beat you with his arm. Man, you can't really do that. Why? Why did you pay AJ then? Why are you paying Jesse? Why you get Simmons? Why? Now I can see Clark getting cooked every now and then. But every now and then you're gonna make a play. This guy can't throw. And this is my problem with the coaching. It's like we can see deficiencies from teams. Like last week. You let Valdez-Scantling get behind you 3 times. The touchdown that he made where Bates, I think it was Bates. I know AJ was in the vicinity, and Simmons was there. He ran right past Simmons. Simmons passed him off, and I'm like, Simmons, who the fuck are you guarding, bro? They're in the wrong scheme. Simmons passed him off, and there's nobody in his area. And then when he realized, like, oh shit, my guy just ran past me. Tutty. Jesse trying to get over there. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Zach, quit trying to be fucking sexy, bruh. Run the clock out. Let's ride. Nah, you know what? We gonna fool him with a pass. Pick. Now, some will say, well, he had Tyler Algier on the outlet. You can see, I think it was either the corner of the linebacker breaking on Tyler. Tyler was probably, if Kirk would have turned his head to the left and threw that ball, Tyler's probably getting knocked on his ass. You had Kyle Pitts in the vicinity. You know, play should have never happened. So all around, man, all 3 phases. But that's what happens when you come unprepared. Just not ready to play. You'll get beat by anybody. Anybody. So I'm gonna see what we do. To me, you got Denver and then you got the bye. You lose to Denver, man. You have to make some changes. You have to. You have to. Because the thing with this regime, and I think what Raheem might be taking a little too lightly, bro, you really don't have a window to lose. This isn't a rebuild you walked into. You walked into a playoff-ready team. But we're kind of seeing the same results of last year minus the losing. We're winning these games, which is a plus. But they seem to always be dogfights. And most times you're the better fucking team. You're the better team. But then you hear him in the locker room, hey guys, we expect games like this. You know, this is what we're made of. Good ball, man, good ball. That's how you win a game. All these games are going to be, no, they're not. All these games aren't going to be like this. They shouldn't be like this. You should be stomping the dog shit out of a couple of these teams. That's the way to win a game like this. You got to put one of these teams down. Like the Cowboys. But if you look at the Cowboys game, they beat us in the complete opposite of what happened in Dallas happened to us Sunday. But we were completely dominant in the Cowboys game. The Saints game, we should have won. But you got kicker problems. He's got a case of the whoops now. And y'all know what I say about that. I said this about Desmond Ridder. When you have a case of the whoops, fam, that's hard to overcome. And with the kicker, it's mostly all mental. And some of these kicks, Koo is just missing horribly. Horribly. In a dome with no wind. Everybody can be replaced on this roster. That's how I look at it. Nobody is above the logo. Nobody. So when I see people like, man, y'all sound crazy wanting to get rid of Koo, man. Look at see, this is the Matt Ryan problem again. He's done so much. That man ain't above the logo. This is about wins and losses. At the end of the day. But this is the Matt Ryan situation all over again. But we talking about a fucking kicker. I'm like, damn, Matt Bryant ain't get this much love. And Matt Bryant was automatic. Man, Matt Bryant was at a point of Matt Bryant's career, he was so automatic, we didn't even worry about field goals. But now with Koo, every time we line up for a field goal, I heard somebody say with Koo, it's 50-50. That ain't a good thing for a fucking kicker. That ain't a good thing. If your kicker is 50-50, there's a 50-50 chance he's going to make a field goal. You need to get him out of the paint ASAP. ASAP. Especially when kickers are hitting from 58. They hitting long distance now. These AT&T kickers. Anywhere, anytime, they nailing these. These are AT&T kickers. Koo is starting to turn into a Metro PCS kicker. And he used to be AT&T. But then again, it's He misses in bunches. That there are pros to cons with Koo. When Koo is on, Koo can hit from anywhere. If he misses one, he's missing two, he's missing three, and he's missing. It happens like that, fam. With Koo, to me, it's 100% mental. Because when he's got that confidence, Ruck can hit from anywhere. But now he's doinking field goals wide to the left, to the right, all over the fucking place. But that's not the sole reason we lost. Defense giving up draws in the first half of games. Defense can't get off the field on third downs. Now they play better. But what's that saying when you're playing a team that hasn't fucking won in a month and a half? Really, what are we talking about here? Y'all get where I'm coming from? This was a 2-7 team. They fired the fucking coach the week prior. Now y'all got Rizzo, whoever the fuck he is. They didn't crown this guy based off of our fucking loss. Can we turn the season around? Is he the guy? Does he have a shot at getting ahead? These are conversations now. Aren't y'all tired of these conversations by other teams coming off of wins from us? I remember Geno Smith's, I think it was his rookie season, came here and washed us. And some people will watch this and be like, man, you being super critical of a team that's, number one in the South. Yes, I am, because I want this team, bare minimum, to go to the NFC Championship game. There's issues here. There are issues here, and they're glaring issues. So we'll see. He's going to stick with Koo. But if Raheem is smart on the next 4th and 3 that we have, you need to go for it, bro. Unless you're right there on like the 15 or some shit, give him some easy ones. Give him some easy ones, like in basketball. When you see a shooter in a slump, give him some easy buckets. Start getting his confidence back. Because right now, Koo is not confident. And I'm not one who's calling for his job right now. I just said Sunday, I said, hey, listen, you got to sign another kicker. I haven't really called for Jimmy Lake's job. I just said that Raheem needs to take over the defense. This guy can still be on the staff. I don't like what I'm seeing from the defense. Wrong scheme. Guys look like they're confused, and it's fucking week 10. Guys are out of position. And it ain't the players. How the hell were these players looking great and then they got here and they're not looking good at all? You look at Judon, they didn't started taking Judon out. Vaughn says, we for sure losing Sunday in Washington. We don't know how to beat rookie QBs for some weird reason. A lot of these rookie QBs that we run into, they're mobile. But the way to beat a rookie QB is you come from all sides. You make it uncomfortable for him. Look at what was the game? It was Tampa Bay and the Saints, and they had Spencer Rattler out there. Spencer Rattler looked good that first half, and that second half, they just sent everything at him. Spencer Rattler was throwing incomplete passes, just trying to get the ball out, taking sacks. He didn't know what hit him. That's what you're supposed to do to a rookie QB. The NFL game is too fast for him that first year. But we're going to sit back in the zone. Let this guy get comfortable. Let him get all his confidence. We'll make an adjustment at half. Might be too late. Who knows? Tremaine says, I don't like what I see from Kirk not stepping up in the pocket for that extra second in the pocket. Yeah, man, I went back and watched that. Kirk didn't have a good game. He's definitely he had that one play where he held the ball and he was kind of like running, and then he eventually threw an incomplete pass. I'm like, boy, Kirk is slower than molasses. But he's not climbing the pocket. What was it? The Thursday night game with the Bengals and the Ravens. That's all Joe Burrow did. Joe Burrow was climbing that pocket and was making some incredible throws. I don't know what that could be. We'll probably find out at the end of the season. Kirk was never 100%. I don't know, but he did not have a good game at all. But we did just enough to win. Just our kicker had a case of the whoops. HM3 says Seattle and the New Orleans game is making me a little nervous going forward with Kirk. They came out flat both games, and these were games that you make statements on. This is what I'm talking about. But again, it comes from coaching. These guys expect to be in a dogfight every week because your coach is out there talking that shit. And every Sunday should not be like that. Hell, I can talk as much as I want to about the Saints. They had 2 weeks where those games weren't even fucking close. The messaging to me is wrong. My messaging for Denver is y'all ought to be pissed. If I'm the coach, y'all played like pure trash out there. Y'all knew we had to have this game. Y'all played like pure trash. This is why I couldn't be a coach. Because a lot of guys are sensitive now. But I'm like, y'all played like pure trash. Cool. What the fuck? Every time I see you this week, you better have on some cleats. Every time I see you. I don't give a fuck if we're in meetings. You better be in a pair of cleats. Don't let me see this shit again with Denver. But then again, I'm not in the locker room, but it just looks like how they played, the severity of what this win could have did. It wasn't expressed enough. It wasn't. But the Denver game, I'm what they call, back in the day where they used to say, I'm checking motherfuckers nuts. Do y'all really want to go to the playoffs? The messaging has to be different. Y'all want to go to the playoffs or not? If y'all don't, Cancun on 3 then. If y'all don't want to go to the playoffs, let me know. Let your boy know. But this is where you have to start testing the heart of the team. And this isn't me being overcritical, fam. I realize the situation we in. I'm happy that we're number one in the NFC South. Don't get it twisted. I'm the one talking about smoking on a pack with every win. I'm making songs smoking on a pack after we beat the team. And I'm making songs ahead of time because I expect us to be beating these teams. So it is a little disheartening when you see your team and you see what's at stake. Go out there and stink it up like in fam. Let's not act like this does not happen with us. This happens to us. But your expectations, they need to start going through. And this is with coaching. Raheem, your messaging is off. I'm going into that Denver game. Y'all should be absolutely pissed, and y'all need to take it out on this team. Y'all need to take it out on them. Put the league on notice that those two losses, we ain't feel like playing. But Denver, we gonna show y'all how we get down. Now, if you go lose to Denver, there's gonna be some people that kind of gonna be out on Raheem Morris. Not all the way out, but they gonna start looking at Raheem like, 6-5, bro. Falcons for Life says, I bet if we had Bill Belichick, we would have a better pass rush and we ain't losing games we're supposed to win. Yeah. Because even with Belichick had a good defense even after Tom Brady left. He just could never get a sustainable quarterback. And then you look at I think Josh McDaniels went to Oakland, completely fucked that team up. And then they made Matt Patricia the offensive coordinator, and they were doing crazy shit over there after Tom Brady left. But their offense was the problem. Defense wasn't really ever an issue. It's just their offense couldn't produce points. So you're giving the other team's offense really more bites at the apple. But this defense is not, it ain't hitting. We had Nielsen, we had Ulbrich. Bro, do y'all realize where our defense was last year? As far as positioning. This was a top 10 defense up until the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. A top 10 fucking defense. And if you're telling me that Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree were the only reasons this defense was getting, man, I find that wild. Raymond says, "What's up, Mark? Just want these guys to get in that dominant mentality, get off the roller coaster to the expressway." Yeah. And you got some dogs on the team, too. You got some dogs. What I saw in this game by Bijan showed me Bijan a true dog. I already knew Tyler Algier was a dog. That man get up from a tackle and start talking reckless. I'm starting to see Bijan talk spicy. You got some dog, and Drake is a dog. Defensively, though, yeah. Where's the dog on defense? Where's the guy that receivers make business decisions about? Now, we know, Jesse Bates is just an absolute stud. He's an absolute stud. But I'm like, where is the pissed off activity from our defense? Y'all ain't tired of getting smoked? Y'all ain't tired of not being able to get off the field on third down. I should be seeing some anger. That's what I want to see against Denver. I want to see a pissed off team. I want to see this team go into Sunday. We're better than you. That needs to be the mentality. We're better than you. And I get it. You know, there's respect given to every team. I get that. But we're better than you. We expect to win because we're better. Any given Sunday can happen to anybody. But the mentality needs to be, we're better than you. Y'all are going to lose because we're simply fucking better. And we're angry right now. That needs to be the mentality. Not every game's going to be like this. No. Because what you're setting the fan base up for is every game looking like this. Think about the messaging you're giving to the players. You create dogs with a dominant mentality. Listen, Denver's got a good defense, got a good coach. We'll give them that. Let's get in here, beat the brakes off of them, get up out of here. And we know Mike Tomlin talking that cash shit up there. We know what Mike Tomlin's saying in that locker room. We know that for a fact because Antonio Brown recorded it. You can respect a team and still expect to beat the dog shit out of them. The respect comes after. After we get that dub, hey man, hey listen, good play in the second quarter, man. I ain't even know you had that. Oh man, you know I've been working on that stance and everything. Ah shit, you know what y'all doing in the off season, man? We'll get up. That's after you get the dub. What's going on, Smitty? What's happening? But the mentality has to change, and that's from the neck up. Now, you say all the right things at the press conference. You say all the right things. But in the locker room, because that carries out to the field. We're watching right now the Chiefs be undefeated. Denver almost got them. But the Chiefs' mentality is, we don't know how we're going to get this win, but we're going to get this win. And they believe that. And somehow, some way, they get just enough plays to get the dub. You look at Washington. They got built confidence behind the QB. You look at Baltimore. Bam. This is what I mean by dog. Lamar Jackson out there. Boy, if you make a mistake and it ain't Lamar Jackson's fault, Lamar gonna come see about you. If he gets blindsided for a sack, he gets up, he talking to the line. You see him on the sideline, he ain't happy with a play, be vocal about it. If it's on him, hey man, my bad. That's a dog out there. Now, he don't do the best at interviews. That's just because of country. So Lamar, what were you thinking on that game-winning drive? Well, you know, we just had to go out there, had to win, you know, so went out there, put up a couple plays, and you know, got out there with the win. That's it. There is no in-depth shit. So what do you think is going to happen next week? You're playing a good team. We just got to get out there, execute, make a couple plays, hopefully get out there with the win. That's it. That's all Lamar giving you. Lamar do more talking on the sideline than he do to these reporters. Smitty says, Coach Moore's got to learn to hit teams in the mouth, got to be more aggressive and have a strong sense of urgency. Yeah, that comes with, to me, that's dog mentality. And I think what he's teaching these guys or training their minds is, hey, all these games are going to be close. And to me, that's wrong messaging. I'm in the locker room, dude, the whole meeting, all the meetings. And I'd be a head coach, I'd be trolling my team. No matter what meeting you walk into, I'ma have in big bold print, I'd have banners in every meeting room. Y'all lost to a team that hasn't won in a month and a half. Everywhere you go, you're gonna see that. Y'all lost to a team that hasn't won in a month and a half. By the time y'all get to Sunday, y'all gonna be so tired of hearing that, y'all gonna stomp the dog shit out of Denver. For Koo, it's simple. Everywhere Koo goes, there are 3 words. Very simple. One more miss. That's it. That's all I got for Koo. One more miss. See, there has to be some level of accountability. When you look at teams that steadily are at the fucking top year after year, look at the coaches. We know Tomlin talking that shit. We know Harbaugh talking that shit. We definitely know Bill might have not have talked that shit, but he was an action-driven person. You miss your assignment if you want to. You ain't playing next week. Then when he gets asked about it, Bill, he gonna touch the mic first. Bill gonna touch the mic. So we see you didn't start so-and-so. Is there anything going on there? We just decided to go with another player this week. Nothing there. He's not injured or anything. We just decided to go a different direction. That's it. There's an expectation of not only winning, but dominance. I think Andy Reid might be the exception to the rule. But Andy Reid might be talking that cash shit too. He don't have to now because they just winning. But the messaging to me is wrong. That's why we're seeing the team come out and play flat from jump. The urgency, I'll agree with Smith. The urgency isn't there either. Punch these teams in the fucking mouth, get them up out of there. You should have teams playing you they don't even expect. Bad teams, they don't even expect to win. That should be the mentality. Bad teams they shouldn't even expect. Hey man, we playing Atlanta this week? Shit. All right, man. What, we playing them in Atlanta? Shit, after the game, man, I'm gonna hit up Magic City. You want to roll? Hell yeah, I want to roll, man. What's happening, Christy? What's going on? She says, hello, Mark and Falcons fam. Falcons for Life says, why the hell would you want close games as a head coach? I don't want them, personally. Now, when you win close games, it does build grit, but you shouldn't want to be in close games. if you can win a lot of close games, it definitely builds grit and confidence when you do get in close games. But yeah, I personally, I want to dog walk every team that we play. Strapped, what's happening? What's going on, family? What's going on? He says, what's good, Mark? I hope all is well. All is fantastic, fam. All is fantastic. But yeah, I say all this to simply say, you got to beat Denver. If you lose to Denver, Sean Payton is smoking on an NFC pack. Absolutely swept the board. Swept the board. And Raheem, if you want to be considered one of the good coaches out here for the long haul, the Tomlins, the Harbaughs, guys like that, the Sean McVays. If you want to create your own coaching tree, the messaging got to change, bruh. You got a good enough team, fam. The one thing that I loved about Phil Jackson. One, Phil Jackson was a savant as a coach. What a lot of people don't realize is early on in Kobe's career, he sat Kobe. There was a level of expectation playing under Phil Jackson. Phil ain't like to lose. Especially when you got the pieces to win. Nah. What made Sean McVay, and I say this a lot. Sean McVay should thank us for where he is now. Because we're the reason he got that job. Now Sean McVay got a tree. I'm older than Sean McVay. I don't think Sean McVay's even 40. And McVay got a tree. And there's a lot of good fruit that came from that McVay tree. Raheem, you personally, my guy, you should want a tree. And you ain't getting it with, we gonna, all our games gonna be like this. No. We beaten the dog shit out of the Broncos. They got to pay for what happened Sunday. Somebody got to pay. I don't, you can say this to the media. Yeah, you know, we're going up against a team that's 500. Got good defense over there. You know, they got Sean Payton. And, you know, Bo Nix has played good ball. And, you know, we just have to come out here and execute, man. And, you know, do the things that we've done in wins. You know, have to play complementary football and, you know, all phases of the game, you know, special teams, offense and defense. You know, we have to be solid. You can say all that to the public. In private, y'all better beat the dog shit out this team. Well, coach, you said they was a good team. Y'all better beat the dog shit out this team. Because if you don't, it's going to be boot camp in this motherfucker. Man, let me tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how I would be as a coach. And some people might not like it. Some people might not like it. I guarantee you though, it'll produce dubs. And you know, when Dan Campbell became the head coach of the Detroit Lions, his press conference when he was talking about biting motherfuckers' knees, and people was like, oh, that's crazy. I even said that was wild to say. Look at where they at now. Look at where they at now. That's a dog mentality. Look at where they at now, bro. NFC Championship game, lost the game. They should have won, but they wet the bed in the second half. Now they sit in the top, the NFC, period. They got a dog as a head coach. And people will get behind a dog. But I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how it would be as a head coach. Till otherwise noted. This me.
I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Sir, yes, sir.
If you ladies leave my island, if you survive recruit training, you will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. There is no racial bigotry here. I do not look down on niggers, kites, wops, or greasers. Here you are all equally worthless. And my orders are to weed out all non-hackers who do not pack the gear to serve in my beloved corps. Do you maggots understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Bullshit, I can't hear you.
Sir, yes, sir.
What's your name, scumbag?
Sir, Private Brown, sir.
Bullshit, from now on you're Private Snowball. Do you like that name?
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, there's one thing that you won't like, Private Snowball. They don't serve fried chicken and watermelon on a daily basis in my mess hall.
Sir, yes, sir.
That you, John Wayne? Is this me?
Who said that? Who the fuck said that? Who's the slimy little communist shit twinkle-toed cocksucker down here who just signed his own death warrant? Nobody, huh? The furry fucking godmother said it. I'm fucking standing. I will PT you all until you fucking die. I'll PT you until your assholes are sucking buttermilk. Was it you scroungy little fuck, huh?
Sir, no, sir.
You little piece of shit, you look like a fucking worm. I bet it was you.
Sir, no, sir.
Sir, I said it, sir.
Well, no shit. What have we got here? A fucking comedian, Private Joker. I admire your honesty. Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister. You little scumbag. I got your name. I got your ass. You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you. Now get up. Get on your feet. You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and shut down your neck.
Sir, yes, sir.
Private Joker, why did you join my beloved corps?
Sir, to come.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's why I couldn't be a head coach. Because I would be, sometimes you have to break something to rebuild it. And mind you, this team has played, overall, grand scheme of things, we're sitting at 6-4, right? We're still in a good position, right? I want us to be dominant. When the game starts, I want people to expect us to win. But to me, the messaging is off. Now when we win, oh yeah, cash it. You got to give the same love and the same criticism. It has to be balanced. When we win, you should get major love for that. But when you lose in games like Sunday, yeah, we got to go back to boot camp. Willie says, yep, it's exactly like that, except now imagine 3 of them dudes yelling at you at once. The funniest place where you're not allowed to laugh. Yeah. When I was in boot camp, I had a drill sergeant named Drill Sergeant Lazarus. Man, this man told us to our faces, if his country asked him to kill his kid, he would kill his kid. And this motherfucker did not bat an eye. That dude was crazy, dog. Crazy. And he was Hawaiian too. That dude was crazy, man. And he was, man, Drill Sergeant Lazarus, maybe 5'8", 5'9". Built like a pit bull. That dude was on, he was on one every single goddamn day. You get out of pocket if you want to. That man, he's stopping the platoon, front leaning rest position, move. Man, he would give us smoke sessions that would have people throwing up. Man, I remember one smoke session, dog. I guess we had just become too physically fit for him. Push-ups wasn't really breaking us. There were two separate smoke sessions. There was one where we were in this position called the dying cockroach. When you see it, you think that's simple. That's it. Try staying in that position for half an hour. That will break you mentally. And mind you, he's walking past everybody. The minute you try to put your legs down, he's on top of you. And then we had another smoke session where he put us in the squat position with our legs with our arms stretched in front of us. Bro, that shit'll break you. It'll break you. Now again, you can't do this in football. But what I'm trying to say is you have to have a mentality. You have to have a dog mentality as a coach. Starts with the head. So we can blame Koo. We can blame this defense. We can blame Kirk Cousins for having a mediocre game. Can't blame Bijan. Bijan came out there to ball. We can blame a lot of this stuff. We got to look at the head, though. Why they come out playing flat like that? It's because you've trained this team that every game is going to be like this. Ray says, Army calls it a smoke session. In the Navy, we say we're about to get beat. Willie says, we had a recruit whistle right across from me, and the DL walked up, the DI walked up and started calling him a dog and threw a Foot Locker and had him fetch it for an hour. I laughed. RIP my Foot Locker too. Alexis says, what movie is that? That's a movie called Full Metal Jacket, man. The guy that actually played the drill sergeant, he was actually a drill instructor in real life. He won an Academy Award for that performance. Full Metal Jacket is a good movie, but honestly, these days, if you're a movie guy like me, we watch it up into the bathroom scene and then we turn it off. On fam, what's happening? He says, morning everyone. But yeah, I was in boot camp at that was 90. When did I go in? 99 or 2000? I want to say it's 2000. Damn, I'm getting old. But yeah, man, I was there where they could still get down and get busy with you. Ray says, I went to boot camp back in 98, and that was the first time I heard the phrase "make it rain." That meant that we stopped when the first drop of water on the ceiling hit the floor. Man, listen. And I was a clown when I was in basic. In basic, I was like the guy that cracked jokes. So I got smoked a lot, but I was in shape at 19. You couldn't tell me shit. Ray says, imagine how hot it had to be. Yeah, it had to be hot in the motherfucker. JJ says Fort Jackson, 94 here. Yeah, I went, my basic was in Fort Jackson, and my AIT was in Fort Lee, Virginia. So now the thing, I will say this. Fort Jackson, when I was there, it was co-ed, so it was both, male and female. Man, them females would get you smoked, dog. Them females would get you smoked. And I was repping my team hard. Damn. Boski, what's happening, family? Says Great Lakes 2009 USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Boot camp was a motherfucker. Ray says, for me, basic was in Great Lakes, Illinois, about 45 minutes outside of Chicago. Man, when I was, I picked the wrong time to go to basic too, man. There was no let up on the heat. It was hotter than a motherfucker at basic. And you imagine, man, we used to do shit like, and again, there were a lot of clowns. I got my platoon smoked one time. And that was out of retaliation because I was in the chow hall. We supposed to be at attention. And I'm just cracking jokes because one of our drill sergeants, he was a paper pusher. He wasn't really about that. But he had like the weirdest voice and he had the weirdest walk, and I could mimic it 100%. Right? So we're in the chow hall line and I'm just cracking jokes in his voice. And he came over. I didn't realize he was behind me. But while I'm cracking these jokes, he's like, "What the fuck you doing over here, private? Talking like me? Okay, I got you. Outside, everybody." So all of us go outside and we getting smoked, right? But I was petty. So I'm like, hey, you know what? We out here getting smoked. I might as well just go for the jugular. So while we getting smoked, I'm sounding off like him. Right? Now, later on that week, I think this was on a Sunday. On Sundays, they were like it was usually lax on Sundays. But I remember he was on duty and he came up there. And drill sergeants are usually laid back on Sundays. Because, we ain't doing shit. So it was like, Private Washington, front and center. So I walk over there. He's like, "Motherfucker, you think you me, huh? All right, do me, motherfucker." So I did him in front of him. I had him rolling. And after that, we never got smoked for me impersonating him. After that, I could basically say that and he would walk past me and start laughing. So being a clown can work to a certain extent, but I never did drill Sergeant Lazarus because again, he was a fucking dog. Like he would have smoked us into infinity. Because again, his smoke sessions were different. Like when he felt like you got used to a smoke session, he going somewhere else with it. We stopped doing push-ups maybe 3 weeks into basic. Because by that time, man, listen, everybody, you do PT every morning. So you getting used to it. So he had to come up, it was like torture. He would come up with different ways to torture us. You want to talk about a smoke session. He had this thing called the human chair. So basically what the human chair was, was you would post up on a wall and you would sit down like you were sitting on a chair, but it's an invisible chair. And then you put your arms in front of you. Seems easy for the first 2 minutes. Fam, try doing that right now. Try going to a wall in your house and doing that right now and holding it for 5 to 10 minutes. It'll break it. Now, again, you can't do any of this in football. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying the mentality. You know, you have to have the mentality of a dog because it resonates with the rest of the team. So when somebody makes a bad play, it hits harder because you're letting your teammates down. It hits harder as opposed to a coach that's just comfortable. Look at what's going on in Dallas right now. CeeDee Lamb misses a touchdown. Then you're talking about he couldn't see because of the sun. Motherfucker, how long have you been playing there? You're seeing guys just lay down now. Look at what happened with the Saints. They were laying down to get their coach fired. It starts at the head. And for the most part, I think Raheem has done a decent job this year. I just think the messaging needs to change, especially after Sunday. You better than that. Y'all are better than that. Boski says, bro, we had an RDC and we ain't know who he was until the 6-week boot camp. Boot camp was 8 weeks long. I was like, I knew bro was black. Man, there are so many stories just off of basic training and AIT alone, man. God, there was so much that went down. Then you had guys at the hotel because when I went to basic, they before you ship out or the night before you ship out, they have you in this hotel. Like this hotel was like known. And it was like right off of Terra Boulevard. It's no longer there, but you would have guys that were in there talking about, yeah, man, you know, I'm gonna become a sergeant major, and you know, my goal is this and that, the other, blah, blah, blah. And then you see them tap out in basic. Some people, basic broke a lot of people. Some couldn't do it. And I remember, and I've probably told this story before, but one of the courses that we had to do, we had to learn how to rappel. And the rappel wall, it wasn't that high up. It wasn't that high. It might have been maybe 30, 40 feet, somewhere around there. Might have been 50. I don't know. It was so long ago. But it was almost fail-proof, right? Because they had 2 drill sergeants at the top. They were strapping you up, making sure that everything was safe. Then they had a drill sergeant at the bottom. And then where the ground was, they kind of had a cushion. So even if you did fall, nothing was going to happen, right? And again, I was a bit of a psycho when I was young. I had no fear, none. So I did that course like 4 times because it was fun, right? So there was this big muscle-bound white dude. Like, he was built like a brick shit house, fam. Just like 2% body fat. I mean, this dude was huge. Dude was terrified of heights. He refused to do it. Now, with these different courses, everybody, you have to wait till everybody qualifies before you leave, right? Mind you, it's co-ed. So women were doing this. And this dude refused to do it. And I'm like, I walked up to him, I'm like, God, I'll do it with you. It's not really that hard. And I can just see the fear in his eyes. And Drill Sergeant Lazarus had everybody sitting on the bench. Now, the company was pretty big. It was a pretty big company. And it was 4 different platoons, right? So ours was the snipers. You had the snipers, the white knights. I forget what the other 2 were called. But what ended up happening is we're all sitting on these benches, and he had this man stand in front of all of us. And he was roasting his ass. This big motherfucker doesn't want to repel? Are you scared, Private? And that dude looked him in his face and said, I'm terrified. So he said, if you don't do this, you are gonna get recycled. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are going to get recycled. And that dude refused to do it. It broke him. And the thing about him, he was regular Army. Here's the most sadistic thing they can do to you. They recycle you, and then you watch your whole class graduate basic training, and you're still there, waiting on another class. Bruh, that I couldn't do it. Fuck that. Willie says squad push-ups were the worst. Get in the single file line, get in push-up position, and put your legs on the shoulders of the position behind you. Yes. Yeah, we did that too. Oh God, man. That's why I say, like, some women to get you caught up, bro. And I don't think we had I think maybe one blanket party. And that was an extreme case. Like, that dude, it seemed like he was fucking up to get chaptered out of the Army. And the only way that he can guarantee getting chaptered out is if he just kept fucking up. And yeah, there were some guys that did not like getting smoked every single solitary day based off this one guy. So they threw him a blanket party. I didn't participate in it because, again, I had to get sleep. But they stayed up. Now, I heard them scream. But they stayed up and got in that ass. Then by the time the drill sergeant got up there, everybody was back in their bunk. This dude sitting there clutching his ribs and shit. And I felt bad for the kid, man. But I mean, dude, we were getting smoked every day at that point. And he didn't want to be there. And the one thing that I noticed, like, especially with that blanket part, it happened quick. Now imagine you being in your bunk, sound asleep, and then you wake up and you can't move, and you just getting hit everywhere. And again, I say all this to say you can't do that in football, right? But I think, you know, those things, they make you, they toughen your skin, right? Not saying I was soft when I went into basic, but I came out of there. My family thought I had learned Kung Fu. It's something about when you get out of the military, motherfuckers think you ran special ops in China and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh. I mean, they really think like you are equipped to kill. Now, to a certain extent, yeah. But I mean, that depends on a lot of stuff, though, honestly. I know our drill sergeant, he taught us pressure points. And again, me being the clown, I was the test dummy. Till this day, and I was 19. I'm 43 now. I have never felt that type of pain that quick that can cripple you. Right, this man tapped me on my neck and immediately my body went limp. Now everybody's sitting there laughing. I'm on the ground like, what the fuck? Like, I was crippled, dog. And then when he let go of me, it was like the pain was there maybe another 5 seconds and it was gone. So yeah, there are certain things that you do learn when you go in there. And I mean, they have, physical combat training. And I think that varies from whatever branch you're in. And, but, to be one of these motherfuckers that, you see coming out of water with, night vision on, I never did that. Or, jumping out of planes and I wanted to do that, but I couldn't. So, but I mean, I was like, I had hands before I went in there. My hands got better, but I never had to use them. So, but yeah, certain branches, you go in there, Marine, Ranger, something like that. Airborne. Well, airborne is you basically, jumping out of planes. I actually wanted to do airborne. But there were some things I wasn't willing to compromise. But and speaking of that, I think they're celebrating vets this month, especially last Sunday, because Veterans Day was yesterday. And there are some things I don't take advantage of. Like my father is always going to be at the Golden Corral on Veterans Day. Always. Shit, we eating free. my pops ain't turning down the meal now. We eating free. So yeah, I do have a soft spot in my heart for my fellow vets. Swats, what's going on? Swat says my grandfather was a jump master and my pops was in the airborne. Nice. Somebody I did talk to somebody when I was in there that was airborne. And he said as you get older, you get more fearful of jumping. Maybe that was just him. But he was like, yeah, your first jump, you're terrified. And then there's that adrenaline thing where you want to go up there and just do it over and over and over again. But yeah, I really, really wanted to do airborne, but then I had to change my MOS, which I wasn't willing to do. So I'm like, I'm good on that. But when you talk to a lot of vets, they dogs. When you talk to a lot of vets, they're dogs. They have that mentality. Now, if you're one of these conditioned vets where you've been in the military, you did your 20 and it's hard for you to kind of like go back to civilian life, because a lot of vets struggle with that shit. They do their 20 and they aren't really civilians out here in the civilian world, but you got to have a dog mentality as a head coach. And I think Raheem is doing just fine. Again, I don't like the messaging. You do have some dogs on this team, but on the defensive side of the ball, I'm checking the heart. Who are the dogs on the defense? Who are the guys that say, you know what, man, we're tired of this shit. We're tired of going on YouTube and hearing guys like Mark call us trash. We're tired of people thinking that they can eat off our plate when they play us. Who are those guys? We got talent on that side of the ball. You wouldn't know it because they're playing like cheeks right now. So as critical as I always am of this team, it comes from a good place. It's all about the logo. I want to see our team beat everybody. That's why when we win, I'm petty. And in order to get the respect of teams, in order to get the respect of fan bases, in order to get respect of the league, you got to be dominant. Wins are great. People tell you, hey, yo, Atlanta winning now. They got a nice little squad. You know, Bijan, he doing his thing. TA doing his thing. Drake London is starting to look like a great wide receiver. Mooney is absolutely playing lights out. Ray getting busy. Kyle Pitts is Kyle Pitts. But we have to win the games that we're supposed to win. Now, if we'd have lost to Washington Sunday or Detroit, different conversation. You're losing to a rival. This is a playoff game to them. They ain't won in a month and a half. And you go out and perform like that. Even the diehard of diehards will look at that game and be like, man, what the hell? But Detroit gonna show me where the heart is. That's gonna show me where the heart is. And I believe, not Detroit, but Denver. And I believe we're gonna beat Denver. I believe we're gonna beat Denver. I think Bo Nix is gonna look good. But in the end, I think Atlanta's gonna walk away with this game. If the messaging is right, we're going to walk away with this. This team should be playing with its hair on fire. Because you got to take last Sunday out on somebody. So you go into the bye sitting at 7-4. You've matched your total wins the last 4 seasons. And I'll give you a perfect example of what I want to see from this team. And this is bigging up Tampa Bay. Tampa's crippled right now. The fight in Tampa is undeniable. I expect Tampa to lose every game. But Tampa out there playing like game dogs. Now, Todd Bowles is a quiet dog. But I know Todd probably talking cash in that locker room. Hey, man, you know, we don't have Mike Evans. We don't have Godwin, but I expect y'all boys to play like we do. Baker, game dog. So even though they're crippled and even though you expect them to lose, that ain't a gimme. Tampa's got some dog in them. And I'm looking at Carolina. I mean, they beat the Saints and the Giants. That really ain't saying nothing. But y'all getting beat by Lil Bryce. Lil Bryce? But in closing, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I got the final score against Denver. I think we put up 36. I think we put up 36 against Denver. Even though they got a good defense, Atlanta should be playing absolutely angry. So I think it might be somewhere in the realm of 36-23. You know what? I'll give him that extra point. I'll give him 24. 36-24. That's what I got the score as. I think Atlanta's going to make an example out of this team. And Denver, they got dog walked by Baltimore. Played a close one against the Chiefs, but everybody's playing a close one against the Chiefs. That's why I think this is going to come back and bite the Chiefs in the ass. You can't keep winning games like this. We saw this happen with Philly. Last year, Philly was in exact games like this, and then they got found out. Then they started losing. They went to the playoffs, one and done. And I think Philly was 10-0 before they started losing. But I think Atlanta needs to make an example out of this team. So I think they're going to come out on fire. We need to limit the turnovers. Not the turnovers, but the penalties. We need to limit those, man, because these holding calls are killing us. But I think we play a clean game. I still think Bo Nix has a good first half of ball. Because you know Sean Payton is going to be scheming. But this is the team we need to make an example out of. So with that being said and done, fam, I am out of here and agreed. Salute to all the vets in here, by the way. All the vets in here, for the people that listen to this a little later, whether you're at work, man. Hey, I hope I let these 2 hours fly by for you. But yeah, salute to all the vets. Salute to all the Falcons family, to all the content creators. We all have different points of view, but we all here for the same thing, and that's to see this team succeed. All right. So again, and that's the one thing I like about this year. There are no internal beefs. There are no internal beefs with content creators and the fan base for the majority. But that's what happens when you start winning and you get on logo business. When you get on logo business, the end result is wins. That's what you want to see at the end of the day. But your boy is out of here, man. We'll come chop it back up on Sunday. Hopefully we smoking on a Broncos pack. I'm going to wait to make a song. Usually I'd have one already queued up. I'm going to wait on this one. So I'm out of here, man.